Safety through engagement is a project which has been supported and funded by the PCC. It's there to encourage cross-cultural exchanges, discussions, to raise awareness about the religion of Islam, challenge myths and stereotypes, and engage in discussions about Islam. Those discussions which perhaps people may find uncomfortable to speak about in other settings.
Communities Inc. and Green Academy Trust worked really well together, two separate organisations with different skill sets. Green Academy Trust have expertise around Islam and around the culture, whereas Communities Inc. we are experts around safe bystander interventions, which is really about how to intervene safely if they witness a hate incident or hate crime. And this can send a signal to potential perpetrators that Islamophobia was not welcomed in our communities.
Islamophobia affects not only the Muslim community, but Islamophobia will affect then everyone because you're creating an atmosphere of suspicion, and then suspicion breeds further hatred. So we need to bring communities together, and the project Safety Through Engagement does exactly that. Tries to create scenarios where people come together and discuss topics which they would not have been able to discuss perhaps otherwise. The climate of Islamophobia is certainly isolating. It makes us feel not welcomed. It makes us feel as though we are second-class citizens. It makes us feel marginalized. And then what ends up happening is that Muslims then will not participate in wider society. In the work which I've done over the last 10 to 11 years, I've come to the realization that yes, you're going to have 1-2 isolated examples, but the vast majority of British citizens and the vast majority of the wider community, despite them expressing Islamophobic sentiments, they don't really hate Islam, and all we need to do is bring them into a discussion, invite them to a dialogue, and explain to them what Islam is about. But it works two ways. The mosque should open our doors, but also people should be willing to come, and people should be willing to engage. And that's what the project is about. So through engagement, it creates that awareness, and that awareness then will result in a safer society for Muslims, and also a more united society in the UK.
I came today to learn about Islam. I feel part of my responsibility is to understand the background of Islam and how it affects the communities.
And it's always great to hear people's perspective and how different people's views are. But I'm glad that today what the conversations we had were at a very deeper level.
It's been a really good experience in terms of getting to see how the mosque operates, been able to ask some questions around the layout and how prayer times operate. So that's something myself I've never had experience before, so it's nice to be able to have those questions answered.
Community cohesion is about protecting and keeping all sections of our communities safe. The racist violence we saw on the streets across the UK last summer could well resurface. Programmes like Safety Through Engagement gives communities the skills and the knowledge they need to keep everybody safe.
The three things which I would say is that challenge Islamophobia. If you hear it, if you see it, report it. If you hear it from someone, challenge them. The second thing, that question yourself and question others, that really where do you get your knowledge about Islam from? And try and get knowledge from Islam, not from the media, certainly not from the media, and certainly not from social media, but go and speak to Muslims. Go and find, just go if you have a Muslim neighbor, if you have a Muslim colleague, and if you don't, then just go to a mosque and say, I just want to speak to a Muslim. I just want to ask you about anything, whatever it is, and have those discussions with Islam. And a lot of the people who are former EDL members, who are former racist individuals, once they have had interactions with Muslims, they realize that, oh my God, we actually share the same values. We have the same challenges in life, and they're normal human beings like us. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is be part of a movement, be part of a social action group. I think that's very, very powerful. The injustices in society, those who commit those acts of aggression and genocide and injustice, they are only able to do so when the masses remain silent. And when the masses stand up and say, no, we're not going to accept this, that's when hatred ends.